So this week on 3 Points Please, we have 3 lads that are doing great things for a great charity. You have a game the weekend that's a yearly thing. I'll let them talk about and talk you through it. So today we have Tony Owens, James Kane and Matt Carney. Welcome lads.
Thank you.
Lads.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us on, lads.
So, yeah, fill us in about the game weekend.
Yeah, so this Saturday it's Sunday is Father's Day, so Saturday around this time of the year we play our annual charity match. The team's called Fèileacàin Fathers. You know, Fèileacàin is a charity that helps families when they lose a baby around the time of birth or just after birth, and it's you know as you could imagine, it's a really hard time for them. You know, when you're on the ground and you're decked, and we've just tried to have these things where we bring people together. And listen, I don't want people to feel sad out there. This is a celebration. This game, this is 40 dads getting together, playing a football match in memory of their child or children, or anyone that's lost more than one. It's a great day. We'd encourage anybody to come down. Irish Town Stadium. We've plenty on for the kids. Barbecues, face painting. What else we got? Bouncy castles and all that kind of stuff. Ice cream van and everything. So we'll probably be flooded with kids now. Yeah. From the local area. But listen, it's a celebration. The more people we see there, the better it is for us, and the more pride it gives us playing the charity match.
How long is it going now?
Well, this will be our 3rd year.
Very good.
So we started up to go in 2020, but obviously all that crap happened back then, so we were a couple of years waiting in them. It was a long way. James was our first captain.
I think Mark was our first captain for the Dalymount game. Yeah, so we initially had a game in Dalymount, so Bowes were Sound to Bowes gave us the opportunity to use Dalymount as a stadium for the venue, and we played a team from Northern Ireland, the Sands UK, who are the Fèileacàin equivalent for bereaved dads. Were all playing, so they're well established across the UK, and they've went and set up and have multiple teams competing in kind of like the equivalent to maybe the LSL and that jazz over in the UK. So they've built it up to, I think, what do they have, Tony, about
21 teams.
21 teams. So here, look, what Tony's doing, you know, for Arthur, his son, who's no longer here, he's creating a legacy for him, and then he's got a couple of dads like myself and Matt, and are creating a legacy. Obviously for their children, and everyone's doing little things they've raised. I mean, first couple of years, Tony, just through the 3 games alone, we've probably raised well over 50 grand in the.
Well more. Like I think the first year we got 67 grand, which went to Fèileacàin, the charity itself, which it's a huge chunk of change to them. You know, people think of it because I haven't heard of Fèileacàin, that's not a big charity. If you haven't heard of Fèileacàin, you're a very lucky person, because you or any of your family haven't been affected by this.
Yeah.
You know, they're the charity that goes into the hospitals when it just happens, and you know, gives memory boxes and prints and support meetings and all kinds of things that it's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
So then the next year I think it was 50 grand, and then this year
we're on track.
Let's see what we can get.
Let's see what we get. I think probably more over 100 grand in the 3 years. But the first year for Dalymount, because it reached over 50k, because it was 2 years and it was put off with COVID and when restrictions lifted. So that was a massive. But the years went into that. But annually now, probably for the game, last year was what, 27? Was it 27?
Yeah.
And then this year probably, you know, hopefully keep the momentum over 10. And sure, look, it's as Tony will tell you, it's €50 for one memory box. Like, that's a sentimental item. You'll have like you couldn't put a money value of that in your house, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you could be clay prints or something like of your last loved one. So the difference of I'm just trying to give a money value of one item, and then Fèileacàin, the supports they give with that, with therapy and counselling that Tony kind of works at daily, is just magic. And it's such a you know, as he said, it's sad that you hear and come across it, but it's when their families are going through their darkest hours, it's nice that as I said, have a safe environment where they can come. Mixed levels, someone might have played, you know, up with however higher it ends, but then you have someone who hasn't kicked the ball in 15 years, so it's mixed levels. And then but the competitive, like, this is really when you cross the line, you're playing for. It's a cup final for me. I played in Liddy's and the Paddy Coles or whatever with Leicester, but this every game is a cup final when I play. So you're playing for something bigger than more important.
We've always said in this day, football is going to a lot more than just the football. Obviously, you see probably your wives and your girlfriends probably say, you've gone about football, you're gone out of the house all the time. But kind of us, is that breakaway, is that 90 minutes on the pitch, is that support network that you at the creating down in the charity like so. That's what the power of football. Like, I'm sure if they've never played, or a couple of lads that never played football, they're still coming in and joining and putting the jersey on with that kid's name in the back, which is powerful,
Yeah, well, like we found with Fèileacàin and dads in general, and you know this for yourself, men don't talk about their feelings. It's hard for a man to say, listen, I'm feeling shit. After 10 points it might come out in you, but it doesn't come out when it needs to come out. So what we found was, if we can create this environment where dads can come down, everybody's in the same boat. You can come down, have a game of ball, and this runs right through the year. Like, there's games every year. It's just that the charity match is in June, so they get that support every month. Whether we travel to Cork recently, Drogheda, we've been in Wexford, we've been in. We're trying to get it outside Dublin.
All through the year, you go and play a game in a different location.
Yeah,
so it's not just a yearly thing, game and that's it. So
the charity game in June is the yearly thing, because we don't want to keep hitting people for money. It's not fair. Yeah. So we play. We used to do a training session, but now people are coming to us and say, "Listen, our second over 35s will play us, or we have a team in Cork to play, or I have a group of lads in the office. They put a team together. We're not going to play against the highest calibre of teams. You're not going to take on an LSL or even a top 35s, because the standard is too high in our team. We've 72 dads in the WhatsApp group, scattered through Ireland. I think we put something in the group just to see where everyone was from, a little poll, and I think we'd 19 counties covered. When you think of 19 out of 26 counties, because the north is covered by sands, like, that's a huge amount of people, and the travelling that they do. Like, last year, a fella flew up from Kerry just to play the match. That's what I mean to him. We played in Dundalk or Drogheda last week. A fella got the bus at 6 o'clock to Connolly, the bus artist, and then got the train from there with us up to the match, and then had to do the same coming back.
Another lad from Mayo as well. So
Kevin drove from Mayo.
4-hour commute just to play.
It's just...
They're particular, like some counties might have put you on a great pitch and all, and it'd be that game be for a particular last loved one. It might be a 3-year anniversary of someone's child, but if someone needs that support and said, here, I'm having a big event for I've lost my child, or we'll travel, we'll go hard and support, because the meaning, we have a little speech and all, a little presentation. You're playing for a shield or something, and we're always the villains when we're travelling to the away, because we're the Fèileacàin team, and everyone wants the home team to win, because they're after bringing the crowd. But when we cross that line, it's like, even going back to the Dalymount game, it's fiery. You're playing
basically in a league.
You're in the league
throughout the whole season.
Throughout the year, we play a month.
So how many games roughly a year?
We play about 10 games a year.
The last Sunday of every month, isn't it?
Yeah,
traditionally.
Last Sunday.
We're going to go away now in September. Whatever you play.
Yeah, we're due to play against, speaking against Sands, we're due to travel over to England to play against them in September, which would be a great thing for us. We've 20 dads that signed up straight away and says, listen, I want to do that, and everybody does it at their own expense. Nothing's covered, because none of the dads would see any money coming out of charity. They want that money going to the charity, because it's for a bigger meaning. So everybody's going. So now we're 20 Irish Fèileacàin internationals.
Yeah,
very good.
We'll have the quarter zips. We'd be looking the part and stuff. So it'd be nice to be the next stage of our kind of, Tony's vision and development of growing Fèileacàin and bringing it to the UK, and God knows where it could go. That's the good part. Spreading the awareness and touch people. Like the point of stuff like this is to kind of, there could be a dad sitting at home now, is afraid that, as Tony, men don't like mental health. Men is only kind of coming out of its box. Like, people kept everything in and would only share something maybe with a few points, but But now things like this and podcasts and creating awareness for Fèileacàin, there could be we might touch a few lads to come out, and Tony's phone now hopefully be hopping and he gets a few more, or I want to play, and let's say the dad didn't play, the brother wants to get involved, or arrange an event for his lost child from whenever. Like it's stuff like that, and growing and just helping that family who might, you know, some people might bury it initially after and not deal with it, and now they might be 5 years into their grief. And then they might want to, you know, they might be in a better position. Everyone grieves differently. Someone might be able to. Like football for me was my outlet during the initial few months out when you're in the darkest days after losing Ben for me and Eve. So that was my outlet, you know. But everyone has their own tackles. Like I don't know how you feel.
Just from yourself now, this year on a personal for me, look, I get the captain of him this season. James done it last year, and what's hitting me now as well is my son Scott is playing in the team, so to be on the same pitch as him, and for the both of us to have a connection to play on behalf of, you know, my son Avi and his brother Avi, it means a lot to me, and we appreciate Tony giving me that honour to do it.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's a connection there for both of us to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And as James said, like, I've never met James until I went to Fèileacàin, and now a good friend of mine, we chat all the time. Or that be a point or football or whatever it may be. But
if you hit your bad kind of low points, you can always have a conversation with people.
Yeah, like it's look, I wish I never heard of Fèileacàin.
Yeah.
Not I mean that like in any bad way, but like you learn to live with it, you know, each day. And it made me stronger as just getting to meet looks at Tony and James and all the other dads, you know. It's been brilliant.
The price to pay this match is too high. You know, wish we had nobody that wanted to play, because, you know, it means you lost someone, you lost your child. And when you lose your child, for anyone to imagine, you don't just lose them for that pain, you lose them for a lifetime. You know, you lose them saying their first words, or holding your hand for the first time, or the first day of school, or see them getting married and that kind of stuff. So you have a future thing. So when we get to play these events with Arthur's name on the back, or Alfie's name, or Ben's name, that's our connection to them to keep going. And I know what you were saying about our wives and girlfriends, you know, you're going to football again, then we head in, you never hear. It's the opposite with this one, because they can see that this is improving their mental health. This is saying, okay, you don't want to, because the women might go to the sport meetings, you know, so I'll go to the sport meeting, I'll have me chat. Women are better talkers to the stronger
and
sex.
Support meetings there on a regular basis for you?
Yeah, there's Zoom support meetings every month, and then there's support meetings scattered around the country. The Dublin one is the last Thursday of the month. I think the Galway is the second Tuesday. It's all on the website, on Fèileacàin's website, but it's important to go and remember. But this is like, okay, you're going to play this match. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see your mood improving, because it's football, it's exercise, it's getting out of the house, it's getting rid of the demons out of your mind, you know, that we all know can catch up with us too quickly. So this is just
our partners kind of embrace it, whereas you might have got tackled, like, you know, I'm going out for a game of match day, and then before you know you're coming home at 12, you had a good win on a Friday, whereas, you know, where were you know, but it's completely different. Your partner here is so supportive, because every game I feel like I play, and I'm sure Tony and Matt will say, you get that bit stronger, you know. We'd always have a minute's silence before every game, and you know, like, and then someone might open up or ask you a question in the dressing room. You might have been through a certain part of that level of grief, or someone might have, like, I'd probably be still, I'm 2.5 years since losing Ben, but I'd probably still raw for still. So there's some dads there.
Yeah, you can see it like a new dad comes in. Yeah, because he's right what he's saying. You can see it straight away, and you kind of just stand there and just all you can do, you put your arm around them. And you do your best for him.
Because he's all going on the same road together, you know.
That's the power of football, really. That's
my own brother-in-law lost his son there last year. He's in Scotland, like he lives in Scotland, and I said to him about the charity and everything else. I was talking to, he said to Tony, sorry, and he said, yeah, I'll play another ball. And it was only yesterday he kind of told us that he couldn't make it over, that something came up and all that, but he was buzzing for it. And obviously the way that the J's with his son in the back, and I was telling him how he started off and everything else, and the support network there, and he was buzzing for it, because he's still raw. Like, I've seen that the heartache that they went through, obviously with the funeral and everything else, like, and not experienced it before myself, to see that like as you said yourself, all your memories, all the things that you wanted for that child is obviously the steps are not going to happen, but
but
he's aware of that now, so he hopefully next year he'll get the doors next year.
What you'll find with men in general is, the women grieve straight away and the men are trying to be the protectors, and it's coming up and saying, if someone asks you how are you deflect it away. Don't ask me how I am, ask me how my wife is, because if you open up and say, oh, this is real now, because you're opening up, so you try to deflect it away. So it takes a while for it to sink in with the men. So it can be 2 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. You can still come and reach out to us. It doesn't have to be. Unfortunately, there's going to be people listening to this and they're going to be joining the team in the future, and they're not even aware of it, because this just keeps happening. But if you're out there and you say, it's been 7 years since I lost my son or daughter, you can still reach out to us. You can still play. We can go. We can play the games around the country. We'll put you at top of the list for next year. Whoever joins us automatically gets, if they haven't played the big charity game, they go to the top of the list, and bump us old folks down. But that's what it's there for. It's there to help you. Yeah. Football can be a healer.
So we go down into your football career, and then obviously how you set up the charity then, yeah. So kind of we probably crossed paths a few times there with Colester, didn't we?
Here look, we bumped into a few times. So Colester, here look, I think we probably just edged left it out a few times between probably about the Saturday and Sunday, and a few of you saying some sense and came across, I think yourself.
Yeah, I'm nothing.
Yeah, well, you brought the course to Hatton Park, yeah. Should have shifted them. It was the season that too earlier, but yourself and Darren then came in, and obviously, geez, it's like anything. Like Fergie had the pick of the era, the 90s, and when you're at the top, it's easy to get the likes of yourself and Darren at the time. The highest calibre player across, and how competitive it was. But yeah, my career is probably just, I played underage kind of mainly with Trinity. I'm done a made man really. Played underage Trinity, and all played with some good players along there. You probably like Mark Townley, Jay Mark. Still playing like top LSL, banging them in.
We played the 7-side turn for the 3 point space this weekend there, and I said to him, he actually dropped the shoulder, I had him, and then just shifted the ball. Just scored. That's probably the last time I can do that to me. So I'm fucking delighted.
It's great. You get too if you get too tight to him, he has that little knack of sending you the wrong way with the shoulder. So I would have played underage with him, and Jay Marks would have played the LSL. He would have played for Drogheda and a whole host. I think he followed Roddy Collins around League of Ireland as well. So we obviously went to the top with Trinity then, which is good for good back then. Then at 17 I kind of just went to Colester then, and here spent a good 5 or 6 years there, starting obviously as a kid, graduating from the Saturday, and trying to wrestle my way into the first team, which was good experience, playing with learning off the likes of Darren and Ross at centre half, elites, amateur centre half. So good, great setup, great years there, and then winning a few bits, and in the holidays to Portugal and stuff So that's probably peaked too early, in them years, and then I just kind of went back and kind of played with my mates then, and went back to Trinity and Raheny. Spent a couple of years Premier B. If you join here, you'll get a few points in the bar after, all that kind of stuff. When it was, you probably weren't getting in as much as you wanted to be, because and playing playing a match Saturday is taking up your whole weekend, when you could be starting Saturday and on the bench Sunday. Your whole weekend was gone. So kind of stepped away from that, and then kind of late 20s. Then I actually set up my own 7-a-side team, Mozov, murder on the dance floor. It went global. I don't know if you've heard.
That's the whole name of the team.
That's the whole Mozov. And here, look, I don't know. I think it might have had Chambers on or something before. We ended up winning, beating all the best Brazilian, Romanian team. We had Tony, Chambers, all really good LSL lads. And then just a good core group, Paul's, and we ended up representing.
And the leagues, obviously.
Leagues, won Coolock, Clontarf, then won the Champions League, got free
entry.
On Astro. So I said here, scrap 11. So I loved the kind of 7-a-side elite, but this was Premier A of 7-a-side, the Romanian and Brazilian teams. You didn't get 2 touches. It was real elite stuff. So we would have had them lads I would have mentioned, and a few ex-Colester lads as well. And we ended up winning it for 5 or 6 years, and then they asked the Ireland 6-a-side team asked us to go and play for the MAI, the mini football 6-a-side team, and we beat Croatia in Zagreb. So we'd heroic ending to the competitive career a few years ago. So and now I'm just kind of playing with Lusk 35s now, who've been, these lads have been a great support to me. You kind of only moved out to Lusk and the door opened there. And the lads have been, and the club, I have a little one that's 5, so I do the academy there, and the lads on the group have been, they know my story, and they've given me a great outlet just to like, you think you move, you're finishing up and then 35s, and they've given me a great, restored me. Like, I thought I was finished with 11 aside, but you know, you never lose that kind of bite, you know, and hunger and drive. So that kind of game at a right time for me. And here, look, hopefully I'm playing for another maybe 5 more years with it. And sure, look, you know the standard yourself. The 35s is really rock. Yeah. The faces you come across, you're like, you never thought you'd see them again. You know.
Actually played down Irishtown his first game. I think he got sent off. Got sent to shop out 4 times.
My first 2 35s games I was sent off. Yeah.
It was a bit pacey, wasn't it?
No, I just couldn't handle it. Like, there's players skipping by me. I'm thinking I'm fisted. I'm going to play 35s. I'll overrun this person. I'll run on. And
Jesus,
lads knocking the ball around, and I just got so frustrated.
Yeah, just
red card, second game, red card, and I said, I just.
I'm going back to senior football.
Slap our face.
That's like Nelson when he
played a few more
like
games.
Nelson when we played the M&S. Me and Nelson then worked in M&S together when we. The Grafton Street was our shop, and I think we'd won it 2 years in a row, and then Nelson comes and makes his debut, and we got beaten in the final. So. He brought that course to bleeding fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
you know? When they kept the cholesterol, we every time he arrived, we lost something. But obviously, we had a good side. Obviously, having Nelson, and just we didn't get the breaks maybe. But good memories as well in there as well.
Yeah,
didn't we have? You know, we had a good laugh.
Are you still there?
No, I'm out of retail. I work in banking now, so. No more weekends, it's bleeding great. So I'm enjoying me. I went travelling back in 17 and I left M&S and then I came back into banking, so Monday to Friday. So left the two, like I'm with AIB now, so they've also been a great support to me. It's good to have the lads have discussed their story, I'm sure, but it's good to have, you know, you learn a lot about your employer when kind of adverse things happen in your life, and the support they've given me, you know.
How did you hear from about the charity then? How did it come about? It
came about, we lost Ben sadly in February 2022. So Ben is everyone has their own story how they lost their child. So Ben, we're only after kind of coming to a conclusion. We had to have a big like a kind of fight for kind of justice for Ben.
You don't want to go into the story now. Just
no. I'm happy to talk about it and spread awareness about it. Yeah. So Ben passed away sadly after 6 days. He was full term and was completely kind of unforeseen. He was 9 pounds born. I have 2 girls as well. Jeannie before and Nell afterwards. So he was a big old baby, but there was just sadly complications at birth, and only recently in the coroner's courts we got a verdict of medical misadventure. So that basically means Ben suffered like a prolonged labour, and sadly sorry there, just for a sec. So sadly, it's just there was a series of mistakes during Ben's birth, which led to him having hypoxia, HIE it's called, which meant that it was just lack of oxygen at the key times. And sadly, we know now after finding out Niamh was being a Trojan and the work she's done in behind, we knew her in our gut that there was stuff wrong, and we could only measure that we had a child before during the what was going on, but the whole thing is finished now. We're only finished in nearly a 2.5 year battle for justice for Ben. So hopefully now with the mistakes were made that night, for Ben can hopefully the HSE now can implement changes, and Ben's legacy 100%. For us can save parents from sitting here and going through never hearing the Fèileacàin, as Tony said, never hearing the Fèileacàin. So that's hopefully the fight we've done, put our life kind of on hold the last 2.5 years to fight for change, and hopefully now the changes from Ben will be his legacy that he saves and protects families in the future, you know. But then, sorry, that's just my story about Ben, me and Niamh's story. But how I heard the Fèileacàin in the initial kind of month after, there's a lady who set up Fèileacàin, Jacinta, and she kind of kind of comes to you, you meet her in their kind of darkest hours, and she kind of heard her story, and we got in touch. Probably in the 6 weeks after losing Ben, so it's probably one of the first people you kind of see you come out to, and she just kind of says how we're doing, and goes through. I wanted to see kind of pictures of Ben and tell it what supports are available, and amazing really stuff that's there. Give you some sentimental items and stuff. Like I would have met Tony, and he probably delivered me like very sentimental stuff from Ben's handprints and footprints and stuff that's forever cherished. So Jacinta just out of chance, I was just in the room, and there was probably a joke. I probably showed up in the bleeding football top when I met her, and then she said, by the way, this was a match in June, this was in February now. They said I was like on a backup list because the lads had been planning this 2 years with during COVID, and then I got squeezed in, and I got kind of half an hour. That was privileged to play half an hour in Dalymount, and I just went to 1 or 2 trainings, Tony. All the lads I met, they opened me when I really needed. They opened the doors when I really needed it most, and I just needed an outlet just to break away from. I was at home, kind of keeping the things together with the little one. You can only imagine how displaying like that. Your brother should be here, and how do I kind of tell her like he's not coming, or he's. How do you explain that to a child? Now, obviously Jeannie's had child therapy and all sorts on that front, and she's getting stronger. But she's been a rock for me and Niamh, and Fèileacàin as well. And that's just into the head of Fèileacàin. The work she's done. She lost a child, I think maybe 30 years ago, Tony.
I'd say Jacinta lost Sarah about 23 years ago. I'd say.
Yeah.
And she put all the blame, like Irish mothers, they loved a bit of guilt, and she was putting a lot of the blame on herself of I should have done this work, or I shouldn't have ate that, and all this kind of things. But the reality was, it's just one of those things. So she reached out for support, and there was no support there. So Jacinta, Marty, and 5 other people set up the charity, thinking that it'd run for a couple of years, they wouldn't need us anymore, and then to be done with. But it's just grew and grew as people are taught, these catchphrases like you've other children, go home and deal with it, or you're still young, you'll probably have another, just forget about all them catchphrases. Every child is precious. If I wouldn't judge one of your children over another one if you lost them. Imagine me saying to you, you've 2 children there, I'll take one of them away. That's what it's like to us as parents when we lose a child. So they just put in Trojan work and maxed out their credit cards and done all this stuff just to get up and running. And now they're in every maternity hospital in Ireland, they're in every other children's hospital in Ireland. They've 1,000 memory boxes. I know you can't really picture what a memory box is, but it's a gift given to parents where they can take a lock of hair up, or hand and footprints, or there's 2 teddies and you get a teddy and you put the teddy in with your child, Arthur in my case, and then just before due to get buried, you switch it so you have something that was precious and touched him, so it's stuff you can't imagine. But you ask anybody in Fèileacàin now if your house was on fire, what would you grab first? After it wouldn't be the husband anyway. My wife would leave me alone. She'd grab the kids and then grab the memory box, because I'm the father of 3. It's just that unfortunately only 2 get to live at home with me now. So we try to treasure every single child, and we give them as much they still give us joy. I'm out on that pitch and I'm running around and I'm thinking of Arthur, and I know he's getting older now, so he's probably, instead of being joyous, he's probably looking at him and you're too old to be playing football. But we seen me top corner there a couple of weeks ago. We wouldn't be happy,
Pulling keepers off and everything now, Tony is.
It's jealousy when you're putting balls in this top corner and you have these jealous, man. Just leave it to the
young
good place.
As well. Jealous youngless, that's all. So Matty, going to yourself there.
I would have started off schoolboy. I played for Home Farm. I was probably 6 years there. Then I left and I went to Stella, done 2 years there. Then between the age of 16, 17, over I went playing for Devney Senior Saturday. You know most of the lads. Playing Senior Saturday, and was getting in that game here with the Premier A side. Like Plug and Sambo, Sean Hart and whatnot.
The Doyles, were they were there, weren't they?
As I was there, yeah, good side. But I was only young, so like, I was never getting in, to be honest. But I was senior Saturday, done me for then. So I played 2 years up there with the lads, and then I went playing for Brandonville in Grange Garman, Leinster Senior. So we would have started, say, 5 leagues from the top, but we won 3 leagues on the bounce. So we went from there up to intermediate, and I would have won a couple of cups along the way, doing so.
Very good.
Doing that, and then when Fèileacàin started then, we played up in the park. Basically going out every week, we were winning games with cricket scores. So we left that, went back into Leinster Senior, and it's been good. As you know, Nelson, you got promoted last year, and
3 in the bounce, isn't it?
3 in the bounce, and I'm playing 35s now, so yeah, still.
I heard you were the banger that everyone's giving out about, are you?
No, I just got my hair cut that much, so yeah, enjoying it. I think as it stands, we're top of the league and playing with all
the
lads.
He's lost our first couple, didn't you?
He lost our first few, but we're at the getting bodies back.
Yeah.
A couple of lads were injured and whatnot, so we got players in like Al Lynch, quality player, Anthony McCormick, goals for fun, you know. Just to be playing and enjoying it. But in the middle of all that, I coached. I was down at Belvedere for 9 years. I took a team under 10s all the way to 18s, but due to work commitments now, I had to walk away. So I'm hopefully gonna get a new shift and I'll go back at it.
Fair play, yeah.
But look, I coached my kid for them 8 years, and the lads, I tell you, in my eyes, I think he's a smashing lad, and he has a big future if he just keeps his head down. And
good guidance.
That's what I do. I'm kind of just stay involved in football as well, just trying to pass on what I've done to Scott, you know.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
But going back to Fèileacàin, how I heard of Fèileacàin, to be honest, I never heard of them. But I went through, we sent my partner Lisa, we were in the Rotunda, and my little boy Alfie only survived the day. It's only 1 day old, and I never heard of Fèileacàin. This woman came in and says, because we have another little boy Ollie as well at home, so I never heard, and she says to me, listen, you can bring him home, you get a cold cut and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great, because he wasn't allowed in. I was thinking it was only my mum and her mum allowed in at the time, so it was very hard at that moment in time. So we wanted everybody there, so I was able to bring him home, and then we got to meet Tony. I forget the other guy's name that was with him, but 2 of them come in, and it meant everything to bring him home, you know. Yeah, especially for Lisa, for his mum as well, you know. She's now I think it was a year after then I had twins, because Tony said Tony has 3, we have 5. Yeah. So I mean, it's been ups and downs, but it's I say you never forget. You never forget. It's the worst day of your life, to be honest.
Many years ago was that?
That'd be 4 now in August. 4. Yeah. September 20. Yeah. Yeah, so very hard, very surreal, because as James said in his story as well, we were told that Alfie needed an operation, he had a hernia, then he was born, and then it was a lot more severe, and it was it's like being in a bubble. I don't know what was going on, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
What was it like when you first kind of agreed to go down to the lads' football team? Was it kind of a bit standoffish, or was it just, obviously the lads gave open arms to you, but yourself?
It was a bit... I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't know what was going down to be honest. And then like Tony kept at me, and then I went down, and got to meet the lads. Everyone's welcome, you know. Went back and had a beer with them and just heard different stories, and now kind of 3 years on now, we're kind of in that position now to...
You're the senior level?
Yeah, kind of be one of the senior lads there alongside James there as well, because we would have met Mark was the captain when we went down, and he's been great, Mark Bowling, and then James was captain as well, so like he would have approached me and says, "Isn't he alright?" and things like that, and I'd confide in James and whatnot. And now hopefully this year, if anyone needs that, and so we're all there to help each other.
Great to be there with open arms for everybody.
Yeah. But it does,
people coming in.
It helps a lot, Alan and Nelson. It does, like it's as Tony said, it's not just going playing the game of football. And my motto, as I always tell the lads, there's no such thing as a charity game or friendly game, because it's in me to win. especially when you're playing for someone so close to you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the lads will agree with that as well. But look at Fèileacàin's been great, and Tony here beside me being fantastic, and look at me sent my family, can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes in a normal football match, you look around and people are saying, "Look at the crest, look at who you're playing for." Well, what I'd say is, look at the back of the jersey. Look who you're playing for. Look at all them dads. Look at them names. They're real names. You know, go out and perform and play for them. When you're feeling tired, if you're on the pitch for 3 minutes, 33 or 93, you give everything on that pitch. Like, we had a great match up in Drogheda there.
Great win. They were at
the end of May against
really good players.
It was effectively a good Drogheda team up there we played against, and it was amazing. We had great team, and then the month before that we were down in Cork playing against a good team, and you know, the lads are out and we have our jerseys on and we just give it everything we have.
It's actually, when we done the bonus episode with the transplant team, they were actually playing News that weekend in Cork.
We played them in Turner's Cross.
Yeah.
We played them twice now. Them lads are great, and they're in training for their
the World Cup in Italy. Yeah.
But I tell you, when
me and Ab were trying to jump on the bandwagon there.
Yeah, we tried to get a free trip.
Yeah. Any sponsorships out there that want to send me Alan to Italy there, please get in touch.
Yeah, listen, they told us no tackling because obviously their conditions, but a few of our players were nearly joining that team when they were tackling us.
They caught us with that. They caught us in the first game with that speech, but the second time they came in the dressing room with Turner's Cross and said, you know, no hard tackling and all. We weren't falling for it twice, you know. One of our lads nearly got put into Rose Head.
No, they're a great bunch of lads, and listen, there should be more charities like this, I think, helping out and doing things for them, for each other. I'd love to see other charities set up a team in their way. I think, you know, a suicide charity or something in memory. You know, you could have, if somebody unfortunately lost their brother or father or mother or whoever to suicide, you know, there's a way of honouring them. We use 3 youth families getting together and 3 this, and you know, and we'd love to play us in a game of football and stuff like that.
Very good, yeah. We should go, Tony, go to your how you got involved in Fèileacàin.
Yeah, well, listen, I didn't have a glittering football career. I don't claim to be.
You scored at the top corners there a couple of weeks ago, so you could play him
like a fine wine now. Yeah, so listen, I grew up in Ringsend, so I played all my football at Cambridge as a schoolboy, and then later on I joined senior football. I went to YMCA up in Sandymount. Great times up there. They had some of the best pitches in Dublin, so it was a carpet up there if any of us ever played up there in the LSL. And then back down to Ringsend to the, you know, done the Tiger Woods. So I was around clubs collecting the tracksuits, you know, with Patsy Y and Ringsend Rovers and Bridge. Fortunately, I got some really bad injuries. I broke the leg, the tibia and fibia went, and then I was only back from that and I broke my neck. So gave up football playing and then just got into coaching really early, about 28. So managed Ringsend Rovers, St Patsy Y, Saturday and Sunday teams, and then took over the ladies team, was coached there for a few years and we had a great time. Then I was doing Sheriff as well, as director of football at Sheriff at the same time. So talk about your wife never seen you. I was out every night, and but now I've just scaled it all back apart from the lads. So I just coach Sam. You're the youngest team up at Belva now. They've been really good on their 8th team there. Really good setup right through, as you can imagine.
That Keith Murray's team, is it?
They're the year above us.
Yeah.
They're only back from Manchester.
They won the Manchester City Cup, didn't they?
Yeah, it was quality.
Yeah, Bounds is over as well.
Yeah, they've that calibre of player, and you know, and coach. So they're flying. So we're hoping to follow in their footsteps. And then listen, they've a great academy coming through. You know, just on my own story, like we lost. Arthur was our first baby. You know, so you're going into hospital thinking, into Hollis Street thinking, this is the best day of my life. You know, Claire was 40 weeks and 2 days pregnant. And we go in that door and we get the ultra scan and, you know, there's no heartbeat. And you're like, what the fuck? You know, you just couldn't believe the reality of it and you didn't want to let it sink in. It's like you're floating above yourself looking down, saying this can't be real. So, you know, we had we thought like to give Claire a section and just take the baby out because the baby's diet. Didn't know what the baby had looked like. Didn't, had no experience with this type of thing. Had to wait all day. Claire had to give a natural birth because it was better for her healing. So at minute 6, that's how we came up with the name. The 17:59 minute to 6, and that's how we came up with the name Arthur. And we named him. And then as soon as you see him, like everybody, I'm sure, as soon as you see our child, like it's unconditional love. And you're like, instead of us being scared, you're just embracing them and loving them. And we didn't have, the lads talked about the cold cots earlier, cuddle cots. Fèileacàin didn't have them back then, so I just was in the hospital for 3 days and spent every minute with him I could, because after that I didn't get to see him anymore. Now we have cuddle cots. Fèileacàin has cuddle cots in all the hospitals, so people can bring them home and meet their extended family, just to say, this is my child, they're real, and get to meet them, get to take photographs. I always encourage people, take as many photographs as you can, because you'd rather have a million photographs, you never look at that one photograph you crave for. So we started attending Fèileacàin meetings like that, but as I was saying earlier, you could see that 90% of the room was women. There was very few men there. So a fella reached out from Sands in the UK and says, would you be interested in setting up a team? And if he wanted us to go into a league, and I was like, no, I'm not going into a league, I can't get that involved. But the more I thought about it, I says, this could be great as a charity team, that we could just set it up and train and play matches. So I reached out to a couple of friends who I knew had lost other children, and we set up the team. And then listen, it's just been an influx of people joining, and the support, and there's still dads in that WhatsApp group, and they don't play anymore, but they're forced in to wish their child a happy birthday, or to wish our child a happy birthday.
That's brilliant, because it's probably giving them, even though they can't play, a fulfillment of having their minds focused on and giving you a bit of support. That's brilliant. Exactly.
Like, if their impact is just 5 text messages a year, it's cleared in their mind. It's reminding them to be of their children, because
and knowing you are always there for them as well is
always there and listen
thing.
And it's, as I said, it's this match is a celebration. Anytime we cross the pitch, it's a celebration. Anytime you put the ball through Matt's legs in training, it's a celebration. But that's how we came. That's how we set up the team. And listen, we didn't think it'd be as big as what it is, but I think everybody's enjoying it and having a great time.
Yeah, just on that, like the environment, like Tony probably has the easiest as a manager team talk in the world, because he just tells you, look at that name on your back, like, you know what I mean. If that doesn't set fire to you, like, nothing really will, if you've played any sort of sport, whatever it is. But just the atmosphere and kind of environment he's created, like, it's just the likes of myself and Matt, who, Tony's the kind of head coach and main driver behind, but he's created a kind of couple of like-minded dads that are trying to bet their best to kind of spread the word and drive it in different directions as well. But just we all can't, just, Matt, you will say the same, we just can't thank Tony for the work he's done. He's taken, me and Matty are fairly recent. There's dads there 10, 20 years, even summers. They might just send a little happy birthday message into the group, but each one of them means a lot. Like, I think the best thing, for anybody out there to a bereaved parent, is just say their name, or it might be their birthday. If you send them a picture lighting a candle on their birthday, or whenever it is, and just include them in their name on a card at Christmas, and don't leave them out. And that's the main message I can send across. Just include them, because as Tony said, he's 3 kids and Matt has 5. Like, just don't ever, it's so important to each of the dads in the group to have their child who they've tragically lost, just included.
That's just one thing I noticed, that when you're talking there, you're using their children's name, the child's name, like, instead of saying my son, or if it's always Ben, or
Jeannie, like, we're only back from Spain, and Jeannie, like, she found a parrot's blue feather like she was messing on the strips, and she was a talking parrot and that, but a blue feather landed her, and she goes, that's Ben, you know, like, you know, that's like he's. So I'm a strong believer that he's keeping his two sisters safe now, and he's showing little signs like could be butterflies or something, you know. There's little things that have happened.
Acknowledgement is key in all of this. You know, people think, oh, I won't bring the subject up, it'll only hurt them, but you crossing the road to avoid them is a lot more hurtful. You know, if anyone's out there and they have to go through, if they're family member or their friend, you know, you feel uncomfortable for 2 minutes having that conversation, that what a parent has 24/7 living with it, but she will or he will appreciate you. And reach out to the dads as well. And I was talking earlier and saying I didn't like people asking me. It was only later on I realised how important it was that people asked me how I was, you know, because it was a key thing for helping me get through this. And listen, I don't want any credit for setting up the team.
We kind of got that like at the start of it, you know, people across the road and whatnot, and then my brother will come to me and he'll say, like, what's the story? It's look, it's doing grand, like, you know, telling them it's alright, you know, that kind of thing. So he'd be like relaying the message, say, oh, so-and-so was asking for you. What, but I didn't want that. I wanted like someone to.
You've probably seen him there that day, and he said, "Well, he's at the Vinassi as well."
And
he just crossed the road there.
The parents, the mums and dad now, like if we were in someone else's shoes, let's say if someone who hasn't lost a child, we know that it's an uncomfortable like a topic, like so. Look, it's not something that it's how do you bring it up. It'd be more someone saying, I just don't want to say something wrong, so it's probably better off not saying that. But just having it on, just a little tap in the shoulder. How are you keeping? You know, just
exploiting it now and getting his words out on this podcast will hopefully touch out far and beyond for people that have obviously not been in this position, that have family members that are in this position and can push them now to maybe speak to them, and people even that are in the same position as yourselves and can probably open up a little bit more about and contact you. And do you know what I mean? The phone is always there.
We'll put all the details up on Facebook and socials and all for to get in contact.
Yeah, and listen, anybody can reach out, even if it's just their own counselling or want to join the team, or listen, if anybody wants to make a donation, they're very welcome as well. Just before we go, I wanted to thank St. Patsy Y down in Irishtown, because they give us the clubhouse and every year or every month for training that we're in Dublin, and it's so important to us to have that.
It says a lot about the club as well, doesn't it?
And Dublin Port have been immense in sponsoring us. Like, we couldn't have done any of this without them, so they've been brilliant. But listen, there's always room for more sponsors, as you know well. All the money raised will go to Fèileacàin.
What's the details then for the match on Saturday for people to get down and have a look?
So it's Irishtown Stadium. It's 2:00 kickoff. We're going to play it in 3 30-minute games, just because every dad that's playing will be guaranteed 30 minutes. You know, the dads travelling, as I said earlier, the dads travelling from all over the country to play in this. You know, there's ice cream vans and bouncy castles and face painters, and you know,
DJs and
DJ. Come down, bring your family down.
It's a great family. It's a day, as I say, it's not a day of like kind of mourning. It's more of a day of celebration with your family and friends coming up, and anyone wider, you know. And it's like the gates open at once, so it's like a little bit of a festival atmosphere. And obviously you'll have your minute silence and stuff that you have to respect, but and then the idea is to just to put smile on faces, that, you know, especially the newer parents that are going through, because they're really everyone has a different level of grief, and some might only grieve later, but it's the darkest hours, the 4-6 months where it's hard to get out of bed and that kind of stuff. For them to just get that day where, you know, to remember their loved one,
it's people don't see though. That's definitely a part that people don't see. It's obviously not going to not be able to fucking function.
Yeah.
Because obviously we knew each other, and it's only come recently that I've seen that you're playing for the team.
Yeah.
You think, like, and obviously Matt, we know each other from MP as well.
Yeah, and with social media, you know, like everyone thinks everyone's, you know, we throw a picture up, everyone thinks everything's like rosy and grand, but obviously all the dads and parents are dealing with all sorts of the after, like my case is different though. You had to fight for some justice for Ben. Someone with Tony's case is different. The shock of, you know, like his, Arthur was born, you know, like and then the trauma with that, having to deliver a baby that you knew for Tony's case, and then Matt's, everyone has a different story, and then even just the partners or wives just get together separately then in their own little Facebook, WhatsApp groups and share their stories, and just that communication all spreads around and helps that, as you said, in an environment that you probably never want to ever hear of, but at least there is a support.
Everyone's just become such good friends in it as well. You know, even the wives, not only in the team, they're looking out for it, they wouldn't come down, but the wives and girlfriends are so happy to come down.
Team, yeah.
we tried to get a 5-side this year, and the kickback from them was immense. So I says, I'm not putting myself through that again.
There's 2 lads that play for Fèileacàin that are now playing for the Monto 45s.
Oh yeah.
You know, Craigie and Ian.
Yeah, so Ian doesn't even live anywhere near Montpellier.
But that's true relationships.
It was actually Macca. He's now Macca. Macca actually got the chap down. Macca's involved in this as well. So
just friendships.
Yeah, and there's just one big. Everyone was just there together.
Well, look at the whole reason why we're in this room together is through football, isn't it? And that can give you a breakaway and
that's it.
And to be able to come together and get your emotions out and be together for what has happened for all is like, and if football can do that and bring us all together, like, and I think anyway, myself personally, when I go and train or play a football match, everything is all my problems.
Yeah, you forget about it.
For them 10 minutes, but if you're around people like the way you are around each other with the support and the help that you have, it's an amazing, powerful thing.
That's what the big day Saturday is about. Like, it's not just for family, friends. Just bring your kids down, or there might be a month where we're tight players, whatever's going on, and like, Matty brings up a player. I have a mate who plays from Lusk, and he fucking scores a belter here and there, and the lads all love him like he's real. But like, you know, it's great to have like you through the hardship you learn kind of who your real people are as well. You know, sadly, until you're kind of in your darkest hours, sometimes you know like your superheroes show up, like, and that's what we've all kind of learned. Like, we're always all there for each other, but and Tony's obviously driven Fèileacàin Fathers, and it was just probably the best way to end this. We all can't thank him enough for everything he's done for all our families.
We have an amazing committee set up now, and everybody does their part. So I was just the person that started it.
Yeah, look, well done to all. Everyone taking part and everyone pushing forward for it. Just keep going, lads. It's an amazing thing you do.
Best up on Saturday, and no nuts and Matt and no scoring screamers.
Top corner again, Tony. No problem.
No, we're all looking forward to it. We can't wait. And listen, thanks for having us.
Thanks very much for your time, lads.
Thanks, appreciate giving us a platform.
Cheers, boys,
Thanks a million.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.